What's going on, everybody? Ronnie DiMaggio here, product specialist at BMW of Morristown. And in today's video, we are going to be going over 5 or maybe 6 things that you didn't know about your BMW. So in a past video, we talked about a bunch of hidden features in BMWs. This is going to be kind of a follow-up to that, but more focused on things that I'm pretty sure you probably didn't know about your BMW unless you're really familiar with BMWs, and maybe you are a tech or you work in like the development teams at BMW. I'm thinking that we're going to surprise a lot of long-term BMW owners with some of these kind of hidden features. So with that, let's get started. We have an X5 xDrive 40i as our demo car today, 2023, but most of these things will be generally applicable to the entire BMW lineup, even older BMWs, not necessarily new ones. So we're going to get into it. 5 things you probably didn't know about your BMW, starting with number 1. All right, so our first thing you probably don't know about your BMW is found in the trunk. So this is an X5. The location varies. For example, on a 5 Series, it's on the passenger side, but in the X5, it is on the driver's side rear trunk area. And what we're looking for is a signal booster, or as BMW calls it, a compensator. So if we pop that cover off and look in there, you can see right here is a little thing that says compensator, and it has some numbers on it. Hopefully you guys can see that. Okay, but what that does is allow you to amplify the cell signal of your phone, but only when it's in the wireless charging tray. So that is in there so you can put your phone in the wireless charging tray, and it won't create any new signals or modify the signal at all, but it will work with the car's shark fin antenna on the roof to amplify your car's signal and hopefully give you a little bit better cell service. It's called a signal booster by a lot of people. BMW calls it a compensator, but interesting little feature that a lot of people don't know about. You do have to register it when you buy the car, so look into that if you want it to work properly. But that's your signal booster, and it's our first thing you probably didn't know about your BMW, so let's move on to number 2. All right, so the second thing you probably didn't know that your BMW is capable of is rolling down the windows without actually using the window switches. So this is done via voice control. So all modern BMWs have the voice control button right here on the steering wheel. All you have to do is press this button and say, roll down my windows. Roll down my window.
I will open the driver's window.
And you can see that the voice assistant recognizes that it's me talking because the microphones have spatial recognition, so they know who is talking, and it will roll down my window. Now, the caveat is you can't put the windows back up because in BMW's mind, that's a little bit of a hazard with something getting caught in the window, but you can roll them down, and you can control all 4 windows from the driver's seat. The passenger can also use the wake word, hey BMW or hello BMW, and say roll down my window, and it'll recognize that that is coming from the passenger seat, and it will roll down the passenger window. So that is how to roll down your windows without touching the window switches. Let's move on to number 3. All right, so our third hidden feature thing you might not know about your BMW actually has to do with our sun visor up here. So this one's super straightforward. If there's anything that you probably already do know about one of these hidden features that we're talking about, it's probably this one. So we know that we can pop the sun visor out here to extend it over to the driver's side window. But what a lot of people don't know is that you can actually slide it backwards to extend the coverage and block you from the sun when it might be in the back corner of the window here. Like I said, some people might actually know about this one already. Super simple and straightforward, but I've shown that to a lot of people and they've been surprised, so I thought I would throw it in there for you guys. But that's our third one, really simple. Let's move on to number 4. All right, so our fourth hidden feature thing you might not know about your BMW has to do with our windshield wipers, more specifically how to activate winter wiper mode or the service position for the windshield wipers. So the reason for why you would do this is kind of twofold. One is you're expecting a lot of snow and you want your wipers to be off the windshield so they don't get snowed in at the bottom of the cowl and then you can't actually activate them when you start driving the car. Or you want to change your wiper blades and you want to lift them up off the windshield. To do that, you can't do that when they're in the down position like they are now, but you have to put them into service mode or winter mode, which we'll show you now. So the first thing you want to do is actually turn off the car, make sure the car isn't running, and then hold the wiper stalk in the down position. The wipers should go up and down 3 times, and then they will stay in this position. That way, if you get a bunch of snow, it's not going to pile up in the bottom of the windshield and kind of ice the wipers to the bottom of the windshield or bury them It's a lot easier to clear the snow from around the wipers and actually use the wipers after a snowstorm when they are in this position. And if we want to hop outside the car, I'll show you guys how you can actually lift the wipers off the windshield to clear snow and also change the wipers if you need to. All right, so when your wipers are in the winter position or the service position like this, it's really easy to lift them off the windshield just like that. They are, of course, hinged at the bottom. And this way you can clear snow and ice from your windshield if you need to, and it's much easier to do it when they're in this position rather than down there to get them to fold up on the windshield and then, lift them forward. This makes things a lot easier if you're anticipating a snowstorm or if you need to change out your wiper blades. So that is our hidden feature number 4. Let's move on to number 5. All right, so our 5th and final thing you probably didn't know about your BMW is how to reset or recalibrate the sunroof. So to do that, you simply hold down on the sunroof button, push it up as if you were going to just crack the sunroof like that, but you want to do that and hold it. So I'm going to close the sunroof back to like the 0 position, and then I'm going to push this up and I'm going to hold it for about 20 seconds or so. So this is an interesting one. You might be wondering why you might want to do that. There's a couple of reasons why I think it's important to know how to do this. The first one is if for whatever reason your sunroof isn't working properly, and as you can see, I'm holding it and it's starting to do the process, the sunroof will kind of tweak around, and you can see on the iDrive screen here, it says carry out initialization of the glass sunroof. But anyway, you might want to do this because your sunroof isn't sealing properly or it isn't working as it's intended to. Doing this is kind of like a reset for the sunroof and all of its controls. So this will reset your sunroof. The other thing that I think it's nice for is if you're ever buying a used BMW and you're concerned about the sunroof mechanism working because it is expensive to replace if it does fail, you can do this to make sure that every single little bit and piece of the sunroof is working as it's intended to. And as you saw, I held the button the entire time it was doing that, so you do have to do that to make sure that it's working. So it's a neat feature for resetting the sunroof if for whatever reason it's not working in any way, or if you're buying a used BMW, you want to make sure that your expensive to replace sunroof is working properly. You can do that and run it through its paces to make sure everything works. But that is our 5th and final thing you probably didn't know about your BMW, so let's hop outside and we'll wrap up. All right, so that is going to do it for 5 things you probably didn't know about your BMW. Hopefully we stumped a couple of you guys. Hopefully we showed you some things that you actually didn't know. If you knew all these already, then good for you. I'm actually pretty impressed. That's awesome. You're familiar with your car, which is great. But if you didn't, hopefully you learned something, hopefully something useful. But that's going to do it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. We appreciate it. If you liked the video, please do hit the like button and subscribe to the channel if you think we deserved it. But follow us on our other social medias at BMW of Morristown, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok, or come and visit us at 111 Ridgedale Ave here in Morristown, New Jersey. That's going to do it for this one. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.